Fielder swinging away 3-0. And a missile to right center. There she goes. A 2-run home run. And that one's hit well. Way back. Tie ball game. Morgan down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Here comes Council. And the Brew Crew pull one out tonight. Nigel Morgan, a walk-off double. And a 7-6 win for the Milwaukee Brewers. What a night.
That was interesting.
Well, the weather has cooled down, but hopefully not the Milwaukee Brewers, as they are set to meet the New York Mets in a chance for a series win. It's been a good one so far, 2 great games, but we are locked up at 1-1. And Prince is the king of swing. 6 games, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs, and slugging the roof off Miller Park. More importantly, the team has won 5 of those 6 games. And Giovanni Gallardo goes for a career-high 7th straight win as he continues to be one of the most impressive pitchers in baseball right now. Welcome back to our coverage of Brewers baseball here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And Jerry, as good as Yo has been lately, this is still Prince's team right now.
I'll tell you what, it's all about Prince Fielder. You know, you look at his personality, both as a person and as a baseball player, and it just blends right around and gives you that great leadership that he brings to this ball club.
He certainly does, and those numbers that Prince is putting up so far on the season, first in nearly every major category for Prince, who's got the big home run swing going right now for the Brewers. The great Gallardo heads to the hill, putting up numbers that truly do make him great. BA and Rock tell you why tonight could be truly lucky number 7.
By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. On a cool June Thursday night, we're set for Brewers baseball tonight. A couple of Brewers, the most wins going back to May 7th. Giovanni Gallardo and Zach Greinke, and Gallardo has won 6 straight. He is the National League leader in victories as we get set for baseball today at Miller Park. And hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us from beautiful Miller Park. The Brewers with a great game last night, a dramatic finish, a walk-off win for Milwaukee. And Rock, tonight they go for a series win against the New York Mets, and they have their opening day starter on the mound in Giovanni Gallardo.
Yeah, can't imagine Yo throwing any better than he has in his last 6 starts. You know, he had a stretch of 5 starts that ended with his start in Atlanta in the early part of May. But right now he's been very aggressive. He's made a couple of adjustments in his mechanics. His walks are down, his strikeouts are up, pitching like the ace that everybody knew he was throughout spring training. So can't have a better guy on the mound to get this series win against the New York Mets here tonight.
Well, there are a number of players on the field tonight you might see in the All-Star game coming up in a little over a month. One of them, the big man, Prince Fielder. He is on some kind of roll right now. Can the Brewers keep the Miller Park magic alive? It's the final game of the series. Brewers-Mets coming up next. Giovanni Gallardo leads the Brewers onto the field here at Miller Park. Brewers baseball tonight. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Brandon Cruz joining us tonight. Terry Collins and the Mets with a series that is all tied at 1 game apiece. The Mets won the opener by a final of 2-1. Another 1-run game last night. Milwaukee pulling it out in dramatic fashion. A 7-6 win and a great comeback for the Brew Crew. Here's the batting order for Terry Collins tonight. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Jose Reyes, Justin Turner, and Carlos Beltran at the top. Daniel Murphy, Angel Pagan, and Jason Pridey in the middle. Josh Tolley, Ruben Tejada, and Jonathan Neese rounded out. And that lineup will face the Milwaukee Brewers 8-game winner, the best in the National League, Giovanni Gallardo.
Yep, Yo making his 14th start of the season, and he is on a roll right now. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 3 starts. The Brewers, in his starts this year, are 9-4. So Giovanni has been throwing the baseball very well.
First pitch to Jose Reyes is in there for a strike, and away we go on a Thursday night where the temperatures are in the 50s outside. Roof is closed. The panels are all closed up as well. So much for summer. It came and went. It was night while it lasted. Home plate umpire is Paul Immel. Rob Drake, Gary Darling, and Bruce Dreckman on the bases. The crew chief is Gary Darling. The Brewers will welcome in the Cardinals tomorrow as this homestand continues against the division rival. Coming into play today, Milwaukee is a game and a half back of the Cardinals. St. Louis losing in Houston last night. And the Brewers continue to sport the best record in all of baseball here in their home ballpark. 22 wins, the most wins of any team at home, and only 8 losses. They're the only team still in single digits in losses at home this year.
Well, playing very well at home here at Miller Park. A number of dramatic wins, and none better than the one that they had last night, down 6-2 going into the 8th inning, and starting to play much better away from Miller Park.
Well, 6 out of the last 7 games the Brewers have played have all been decided by 1 run. And the Brewers are 4-2 in that stretch. And while the team is still 6 under on the road, it's been the home record that has separated them at this point with a 22-8 record. Reyes, a bouncing ball, got jammed. Betancourt, and 1 away for Gallardo. That's how the night begins tonight. Let's check the defense for Milwaukee. It's Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez, and Corey Hart in the outfield. Casey McGee, Yuneski, Betancourt, Ricky Weeks in Prince Fielder. And a battery of Jonathan Lucroy and Giovanni Gallardo. Those two have been matching up very well this season. And a good crowd filing in here on a Thursday night, expecting big crowds, near sellout crowds over the weekend with the Cardinals coming to town. So I encourage you to log on to Brewers.com or call the ticket office. We'd love to have you out. One gone for Justin Turner. No Jason Bay in the Mets lineup tonight. Terry Collins saying that Jason Bay is going to get maybe a couple of nights off to try to figure out his hitting woes. Bay is currently in an 0 for 23 slump, which is a career high for Jason Bay.
Hey, he just looks like he's really unsure about what he wants to do up there at the plate, and you know, sometimes that's the best thing for a player, a guy that's having a tough time. You know, Casey McGee was given a couple of days off. You know, he got his base hit last night. Something about getting a night off when your team has a game. You sit there, you watch the action. It helps out sometimes. They a big run producer for this, Mets team, and he has not been doing it.
So Terry Collins going with a bunch of relative unknowns at this point. Some fresh faces on the baseball landscape playing for the Mets right now. They've actually swung the bats pretty well. They've had a stretch where they've hit the ball. They're averaging over 300 for a batting average as a team over the last 2+ weeks. Yesterday they put 6 runs on the board and 9 hits. But their bullpen faltered. The Brewers were down 6-2 going into the bottom of the 8th. Scored 4 runs to tie it and then got a run in the 9th inning to win it.
Yeah, the starting pitching hasn't been too bad. Their defense okay. But that bullpen has given Terry Collins problems all year.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Turner. And down he goes. Gallardo punches him out on a fastball. Surprised him with a heater, and the first strikeout for Gallardo.
You talk about the adjustments that Gallardo has made after he had those 5 consecutive rough starts. It's fastball command and his ability to use the fastball a lot. He's got good velocity here tonight. 94 he hit on the pitch before that strikeout.
It has been quite a stretch for Gallardo. 6 consecutive wins going back to the 7th of May. as he faces Carlos Beltran with 2 away. Gallardo's wins have come against the Cardinals, the Pirates, at San Diego. A couple of home wins against the Nationals and the Giants, and his last time out against the Marlins.
Yep, in those 6 wins, Gallardo has only allowed 14 runs. I mean, just a little over 2 a game. Outstanding work by Yo.
Two balls, no strikes on Beltran. Beltran finally healthy again, as healthy as he'll probably ever be from here on out. Still plays with an arthritic knee after the knee surgery a couple of years ago. And Beltran hitting at .278, has 9 home runs, 35 driven in. Beltran, the National League leader in doubles, so he's getting his extra base hits this year. And his name has surfaced a great deal in the trade circles, as Lucroy makes a quick trip to the mound with Gallardo.
Yep, a 3-0 curveball. I'm not sure if Lucroy called it, was expecting it, but Gallardo threw it, and they're going to have a little bit of a meeting. Yes, indeed, a 3-0 curveball for a strike.
Just for fun, he says. See what he gives him on a 3-1 pitch. Fastball missed, and it's a 2-out walk. Now, we had a chance to catch up with Yovani Gallardo yesterday. We asked him what has been working so well here lately.
Definitely being a bit more aggressive, but not too aggressive to the point where, you know, I got to come out of my mechanics and my rhythm. I think it's, I think that's been the biggest thing for me, just staying within myself and just keep going with the rhythm that I have and attacking hitters.
Such a big part of Gallardo's turnaround, that rhythm. At first he was a little too methodical in his windup, very slow, deliberate process to the plate. Rick Kranitz, Gallardo, they got together, they worked it out, and then it was almost too fast for Gallardo.
Yeah, he's found a comfort level now, and when you talk about being aggressive for a pitcher, ordinarily that means pounding the fastball early in the count, getting ahead, then going with the breaking pitch. It looks as though in this first inning, Gallardo has a pretty good curveball tonight.
Well, Gallardo signing a multi-year extension, multi-million-dollar extension with the Brewers. It's possible he could be in a Brewers uniform through the 2015 season. But a 5-year contract that began last season, right after the season began last year. Gallardo signed his extension. Yovani was an all-star for the first time last year. And a swing and a miss. A good start. Gallardo with a couple of strikeouts and a scoreless first inning. Now the Brewers coming up. Jonathan Neese, talented left-hander on the mound tonight. Good pitching matchup at Miller Park. Park. on a Thursday night. Cool outside. No score as we head to the bottom of the first. The Mets go down in the first with a couple of Gallardo strikeouts. Ron Renicky putting his lineup together today. He has Casey McGee back in the 5-hole. Batting order brought to you by Piggly Wiggly with Weeks, Hart, and Braun. Fielder McGee and Betancourt. Bottom three, Lucroy, Gomez, and Gallardo. And a very good left-handed pitcher on the mound. Jonathan Neese, record not indicative of how well he has pitched this season for the Mets.
Yeah, run support has been an issue for him. A 375 earned run average, and it could be a lot better than that, except for maybe 2 or 3 starts. He's 2-1 in his last 4 and has only allowed 4 earned runs in that stretch.
Yeah, Neese with a 2-1 record, that 1.38 earned run average in those final 4 games, or those last 4 games. He made his major league debut in 08 here against the Milwaukee Brewers. And Ricky Weeks leads off tonight. Takes a ball down and away. Neese has never beaten the Brewers. And in 2 career starts has given up 11 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. But you got to give him a mulligan making his major league debut here. Little half swing bouncer out to Reyes. And Weeks is retired. Let's check the Mets defensively behind Jonathan Neese. Jason Pridey gets a start for Bay in left field. Angel Pagan and Carlos Beltran join him in the outfield. Justin Turner, Jose Reyes, Ruben Tejada, and Daniel Murphy around the horn, with Josh Tolley doing the catching tonight. This is a very familiar lineup if you were watching games in the International League in Buffalo earlier this season. A lot of the same names and the same faces here playing in the big leagues for the Mets.
And they're not doing a bad job either. I mean, for that matter. I mean, run production has not been much of an issue for the Mets this year. Moving guys in and out. Guys on a disabled list for the Mets. David Wright, Ike Davis. Tough guys to replace.
And of course the Mets, as Hart sends one foul, the Mets are still without their ace, Johan Santana, and elbow surgery. And he is still on the disabled list. They're hoping for a return for Santana this season. And apparently his rehabilitation is coming along fine. As Corey Hart strikes out. 2 up, 2 down for Jonathan Neese, and a scouting report on the 23-year-old left-hander coming from Dale Swain.
Neese comes at you with his fastball. He likes his fastball a lot, anywhere from 90 to 93. His second pitch is going to be his curveball, which he likes for his out pitch. He's going to mix in some changeups and some cutters, but predominantly he's going to be fastball, curveball to get you out with.
Man, I think last year he overused his cut fastball a little bit too much, gave up some runs, and he's got back to basics with the fastball and the curveball. And as Dale said, he will mix in a changeup from time to time to a right-handed hitter.
Now Ryan Braun with 2 gone. And Braun sends one center field. Back is Pagan. He's got it at the track. Too much on a line. Braun 400 feet away, lines out to end the inning.
0-0, top of the second inning, and the Brewers right now in the middle of a 6-game homestand, and they like home, as we've been talking about. 22-8, the best record in the majors at home, and it's the best record the Brewers have had after 30 games. They're hitting .284 during this stretch, including 43 home runs, scoring 5.5 runs per game, and the ERA right there at 3.77. A very good time to be at home. Brian?
All right, Brandon, thanks. And they have needed that home success after some struggles early in the season on the road. But the Brewers coming off a 5-2 road trip, which has set them up for this homestand, a 6-gamer, and a chance to win the series. They've only lost one series at home this year. Got a chance to win a series again here tonight against the New York Mets. Angel Pagan bounces one to Betancourt. And a quick out for Giovanni Gallardo. Well, everybody wants to be a part of Miller Park, including a Super Bowl MVP. Earlier tonight, Aaron Rodgers was introduced, towed it up, and delivered a strike to Ryan Braun, his good buddy. Great to see Aaron Rodgers here at Miller Park. And we'll see if we can convince him to come up to the booth and have a chat later.
Yep. Yeah, big sports fan. You see him at the Bradley Center from time to time for Bucks games. You see him here at Miller Park.
Gallardo getting ahead of Jason Pridey, starting in left field tonight. And Gallardo pouring in the strikes with the fastball. Giovanni with 2 Ks in the first inning. Did issue a walk to Beltran. Interesting to hear Gallardo say the change in his game has been the fact that he's been more aggressive but not too aggressive. You got to know when to go after a hitter and when to try to get the hitter to chase a little bit.
Man, he's been aggressive with his fastball, but he's been able to locate it very well. Down on the corners and down in the strike zone, he's been elevating it when he's needed to get a swing and a miss on the 2-strike pitch. He was pitching somewhat backwards, in that stretch of 5 games where he didn't throw all that well. A lot of curveballs early, getting behind, and they were hitting his fastball.
Well, during that 5-game stretch, which covered the final 4 starts in April and the first start in May, he gave up 26 earned runs in 5 starts. Interesting that his record was just 1-2. So he didn't do a lot of losing during that stretch, but 26 earned runs in a 5-game stretch. He's only given up 34 earned runs all year. You can see the kind of damage that he has done to the opposition since, and has not had a game since that time where he's given up more than 2 earned runs in a game. There's a base hit to right. Jason Pridey pulls one through the hole for a single.
Hey, Ryan Braun is currently in the lead to be the next We Energies High Energy Player of the Year with 34% of the votes. Cast your vote today at Brewers.com/We Energies.
Braun had a big hit last night, as dramatic as Fielder's game-tying homer was and Nyjer Morgan's game winner. It was Braun who set the whole thing up with a 2 RBI double in the 8th inning. There's a strike to Josh Tolley. Tolley hitting just .230. No homers, 17 runs batted in. Tolley making his 2nd start. His backup, Ronnie Paulino, had the big hit last night for the Mets. He had 4 hits last night, including a 3-run home run in the 8th inning, and at the time it looked like it iced the game away for the Mets. Not to be, thanks to a late comeback for Milwaukee.
All the heroes in that ball game last night. The one guy you don't really hear a whole lot about, Craig Counsell. He led off that 8th inning with a walk. Brewers ended up tying it up, and he got a 1-out single in the 9th and stole second base, setting up the big base hit by Nyjer Morgan. A good job coming off the bench for Craig Counsell.
And all of that activity last night, Nigel Morgan didn't even realize it was the 9th inning. He thought he had just put the Brewers ahead. He had no idea he had just won the game until he saw everybody pouring out of the dugouts.
Hey, you love that. Hey, you wonder, I read that this morning, and I wonder if that's just a bit. Nigel's good at, kind of pulling your leg a little bit, kind of make you feel silly. But I asked him today, and he said, no, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I was just so focused. I was up there. I didn't look at the scoreboard. He said there's about 10 of them. No idea what the situation was. You got to love it.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Tolley. And a bouncing ball. Ricky Weeks lays out, goes off his glove. Betancourt recovers and gets an out. Some kind of play by Yuniesky Betancourt. And the Brewers get an out at first base.
Yeah, Ricky Weeks able to knock it down and deflect it over to Betancourt, who was able to get the Mets catcher getting down the line at first base. Check out Betancourt. Plays never over till it's over. Good job. Ricky off the heel of the glove. He knocks it over to Yuniesky, and he makes a very good play to get an out.
And he's second out of the inning. And here is Ruben Tejada. Now the Brewers can be careful here. A base open at first. Tejada is a .300 hitter this season. Got the pitcher coming up next. Big lead out at second for Pridey. There's a strike from Gallardo. Tejada hitting .317. He's driven in 8 runs, an on-base percentage over .370.
Man, you got the pitcher on deck. You got to be careful, although Neese swings the bat fairly well. First base open. Don't give him anything to hit.
Well, Tejada's had a good series as well. He has 3 hits. He was on base twice yesterday. 1 for 3 at the plate. He was 2 for 4 in the opener on Tuesday. One ball, 1 strike on Ruben Tejada. Fouls it away late on the fastball. Gallardo has a good heater tonight, and he's using it often.
Yep, that last pitch at 94 miles per hour.
Good block from Lucroy. Count evens at 2-2. Now the Mets start the day at 29-32. They are 3 games under. They trail the Philadelphia Phillies by 7.5. I know a lot of scouts are watching the Mets right now to find out if they're going to tumble in this division and be sellers on the trade market. The trade deadline is at the end of July. So still a lot of baseball to be played. But there are a number of talented players that the Mets might trade. Tejada sends one to center. That's down for a base hit. Coming around third is Pridey. The throw up the line gets by everyone. And the Mets have a run. Gallardo challenged Ruben Tejada with a pitcher coming up next, and he made him pay.
And he gave him a good fastball to hit, and Tejada, who seems to be a pretty good fastball hitter, we've seen that in the 3 games here, rips that one into center field. And with 2 outs and first base open, you hate to see the number 8 hitter get a base hit to score a run. You got that pitcher on deck right down the middle, a little bit above the knees, and Tejada hits it hard into center. And on the throw, Tejada gets to second base.
So Pridey scores. That's a 2-out, 2-strike RBI single for Tejada. Well, maybe a better throw, and you had a chance at an out.
Yep.
Tough throw for a center fielder.
And Jonathan has to just pull the ripcord, get away from home plate, and get that baseball. He might have had to play at second. First responsibility for a fielder, regardless of what base they're at, is catch the baseball. If you can't reach, you got to leave the bag or leave the plate.
Nice handles the bat fairly well. Doesn't have a lot to show for it this year. He's only 2 for 24 and a batting average under 100, but he's typically a guy who makes contact. He actually has a little power.
Hit 190 last year. It's not bad, around 200.
One of his 2 hits is a triple this season. And Gallardo has fallen behind him. 3 balls and a strike on the pitcher Nice. But the dangerous Jose Reyes coming up next. Full count to Nice. 2 gone in the inning. And he got it. Nice chased one out of the strike zone. He strikes him out. His 3rd punch out. But the Mets score first tonight. They get an RBI single from Ruben Tejada. Came with 2 outs and 2 strikes. 1-0 New York. One nothing. They get a 2-out RBI from Ruben Tejada. And now Prince Fielder will lead off the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Powerball home run count. Fielder is on a home run binge. He has 6 home runs in his last 6 games. 21 home runs. Multi-career or multi-home run games in his career, I should say. And Fielder is certainly in that kind of role right now. And you're starting to see the flash bulbs pop every time Fielder is at the plate. Prince with 17 home runs this season, 54 runs batted in.
Man, look at the batting average. He's approaching 300. And when you look at his home runs, the spray chart for his home runs, he's going line to line with them. There are 2 games in this series, one to right, one to center, one to left. Tough to pitch to.
Fielder hits that one hard. Tejada out in the grass in the shift, and he makes a play for out number 1. I'll check the Powerball home run leaderboard for the Brewers. Not only does Fielder lead the club, but he also leads the league. He is tied with Jay Bruce and Matt Kemp for the National League lead. Ryan Braun with 13 home runs this year, tied for 6th in the league.
And Brewers lead the league all by themselves coming into play tonight.
Nice will face Casey McGee with 1 away. That was a nice moment last night when Casey McGee finally broke his long slump at the plate. Got a base hit and got a standing ovation from the Miller Park crowd. And it was a moment that Casey McGee acknowledged after the game touched him last night. He was surprised by that reaction.
Yeah. No, he's been a good run producer in his 2 years with the Brewers. 2009 and 2010. 170 runs driven in by Casey McGee. Going through a rough stretch, and the Brewer fans acknowledge the fact that he broke the seal.
He snapped an 0 for 27 at the plate. Saw his batting average drop from near 260 down into the 220s. Hopefully a sign of things to come, though, for McGee. Changed his batting stance a little bit. Standing more upright now.
Well, anything to change it up. I mean, that stance that he used, you know, for the most part since he's been here. A little tweak here and there, but this is the biggest adjustment that we've seen from Casey.
And Neese dumps a curveball in there and a called strike 3. That's his best pitch and his second strikeout.
Yep, he threw one to Prince Fielder to start him off. Threw it for a strike. It's one thing to have a good curveball. It's another thing to throw it for strikes with a big break like that. It's a good pitch. Fooling Casey McGee right down the middle.
So 2 gone. Neese has retired 5 straight to start it. Here's Yuniesky Betancourt. Betancourt hitting .234 to start play today. Has 3 home runs, 20 driven in. 0 for 4 last night. And a nice play from Neese. Side retired. 6 in a row for the left-hander to get it started. We head to the 3rd. The Mets are coming up. They lead 1-0. Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat. Back inside Miller Park. And a 1-0 Mets lead as we head to the 3rd inning. Jose Reyes leading off for New York. Reyes opens play tonight as the National League's leading hitter, hitting .341 this year, has a home run, 23 driven in. Leads the league in hits so far, 86 hits on the season for Reyes. And Rock, you're looking at a couple of rosters here tonight with some MVP candidates sprinkled around. Jose Reyes certainly in that picture early, as is Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun.
Yeah, Reyes is certainly a big spark plug for this offense for the Mets. A leadoff hitter. You mentioned getting on base. He's got decent power. When I say power, I mean extra base hits, triples and doubles.
And he goes. Cannot check his swing. Lucroy slaps the tag on him. Reyes retired. That is strikeout number 4 for Giovanni Gallardo.
Well, the curveball, as we mentioned, has been a good pitch from inning 1 for Gallardo. That was a well-located pitch down in his zone. A good block once again by Lucroy. He has really improved a lot blocking pitches, and it's been in the last couple of weeks. And Jose Reyes not bothering to run down to first base.
And even though as a catcher you don't have to tag the runner to secure the strikeout if he doesn't make a break to first. Lucroy is one of those guys that will chase a guy all the way into the dugout if need be.
Yep.
I think he enjoys that part of it.
I just don't get why guys don't want to run down the line. Don't want to run to first base. Never know what can happen. Especially when you can run like Reyes.
You should just run just for the fun of it.
Yeah, just to stay loose.
Ball and 2 strikes on Justin Turner. Gallardo struck him out back in the first. Reaches out for one. Coming in. Betancourt takes a tough hop. Makes it look easy. 2 outs in the inning. Looks like Gallardo has quickened his tempo a little bit here.
Yeah. That shows a lot of confidence. When you have your pitcher out there getting it and firing it back in, not taking a lot of time between pitches. That means 2 things. He's got a lot of confidence in what he's throwing, and the catcher's on the same page with him. Of course, Yo is not a guy that shakes off a lot. He'll typically throw whatever Lucroy hangs down there.
Beltran takes a breaking ball on the first pitch and singles back up the middle. Well, how many guys are looking at a first pitch curveball to do damage?
And not a bad one at that. Check out the location. Yeah, down and away. Carlos Beltran with those long arms able to go down and get it and get himself a 2-out single.
Most hitters, if they see a breaking ball on the first pitch, they'll just let it go by. Usually hitters are looking for a fastball they can groove. But that'll certainly plant the seed in Gallardo's mind for the next time up. Because most hitters don't swing at first pitch breaking balls, there's actually a term for pitchers. They call it a get over curve. They're not looking for a swing and a miss. They're just trying to get it over because it very rarely gets swung at.
Right, because you fooled the hitter on the first pitch curveball, but that wasn't really a get over curveball. That was a pretty good one. I mean, that ball down and away. Carlos Beltran apparently sitting back waiting for it.
2 outs, runner at first. Daniel Murphy, the batter. He's out in front of one.
Joe's throwing a lot of curveballs, but he's throwing most of them for strikes. There it is. That base hit for Carlos Beltran. Now most get over curveballs aren't going to have that kind of movement and end up down and away and end up as base hits.
There's a curveball fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Daniel Murphy.
Jonathan Lucroy very well aware, knowing that Gallardo's got a good curveball today, not afraid to call it. That one was up in his zone, but Murphy out in front of it.
And look out over there on a fastball. Late is Murphy. So he's ahead of the curve. He is behind the fastball. We'll see what Gallardo and Lucroy have in mind here on a 1-2 pitch. Mets scored last inning, an RBI single from Tejada, and a 1-0 lead. And a bouncer foul. Murphy hanging in there. Gallardo can sometimes get frustrated when hitters are fouling pitches off, and then as he tries to get the swing and the miss, sometimes starts to misfire.
Well, sometimes you're going to try and throw it a little bit too hard, put a little extra crank on it, and that's when you hang them.
And a curveball in the dirt gets away from Lucroy, and Beltran on to second. It'll be a wild pitch.
That curveball able to block it, but hit the shoulder protector and carried away from Luke, and Beltran able to get into scoring position with 2 outs. See a little area right there. That's what it hit, and that's why it ricocheted to his right.
Well, again, the Mets have a runner in scoring position with 2 away. And the 2-2 pitch bounced over to Weeks. And the side retired. So Gallardo, a scoreless 3rd inning. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, the bottom of the order coming up. We remind you to click on the Fan Zone tab on the FoxSportsWisconsin.com homepage. You can win prizes like team merchandise, game tickets, unique fan experiences, tech toys, and more. And if you're not a member, you can join right now. It's fast and free, and it's all at the Fan Zone tab, FoxSportsWisconsin.com. He is not afraid to show his affection for the Brewers catcher. Jonathan Lucroy leads off, rips one back up the middle, and it is caught by Pagan. Nice running catch. Lucroy retired. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jonathan Neese.
Yeah, fastball right down the middle. Luke able to hit it hard into center field, but a good jump on that baseball by Pagan. It wasn't playing very deep out there in center field.
And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez getting his 2nd start of this series with the left-handed starting pitcher on the mound. Gomez had a fantastic game defensively on Tuesday night. Scuffled at the plate a little bit, especially with men on base. Not a bad idea. Gomez and Nigel Morgan have been out with early bunting practice a great deal on this homestand. They'd like to see Gomez utilize the bunt a little more often.
Well, anyway, for Gomez to be able to get on first base, because when he gets on first, pretty good chance he's going to end up at second when he steals a bag.
I thought it was a great scene last night. Nigel Morgan had the game-winning hit. The first guy on the field to greet him was Gomez as he strikes out, and that is out number 2.
Hey, come out to Miller Park on Sunday, June 26th, as the Brewers take on the Twins at 1:10 p.m. The first 15,000 fans 21 and older will receive a camouflage Brewers baseball cap, compliments of Miller High Life.
So 2 gone, and here is Gallardo. Giovanni always a threat at the plate. Has 1 home run this season. He's driven in 3. And he takes one on the inside corner for a strike. Gallardo has matched up against Johan Santana the last 2 seasons. Santana on the disabled list, had shoulder surgery last September. They're hoping to get Santana back after the All-Star break. Gallardo is down quickly. Jonathan Neese is dialed up right now. He has retired the first 9 with 4 strikeouts. 1-0 Mets. We're on our way to the 4th inning from Miller Park. Aaron Rodgers will join us in the booth when we come back. Mets lead the Brewers as we head to the Mets half of the 4th inning, and we are pleased to be joined by an MVP quarterback of the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers. Looking good in your Brewers gear, man. That's outstanding.
I'm a big fan. I really am. It's nice to be here tonight. Thanks for having me up here. Good to be back in Wisconsin. Wish we were playing football right now, but it's nice to watch our Brewers doing so well.
Well, maybe some of that Packer fever will rub off. It has already. The Brewers off to a great start. I know you're a big fan. You were out. You threw the first pitch out today. Pretty good fastball. How's your cranker right now?
I wanted to throw a 4-seamer. When I actually pitched in high school, I threw a 2-seamer. A little too much movement. I haven't pitched in forever, and I was super nervous. Didn't want to throw.
Really?
Didn't want to bounce at DeBron. He said he wasn't wearing a cup. So.
Yeah, we didn't want you to hair lip Ryan Braun either.
Yeah.
Now, you're nervous throwing out the first pitch of a Brewers game. Were you nervous in the Super Bowl?
Not really. I was so confident. I prepared for 2 weeks for that game. I felt like I was going to play well, and we were going to play well. Here, anything could have happened off that mound.
And including a YouTube moment. But you did great, man. You went back to the rubber. I saw you digging in out there and delivered a strike to Ryan Braun as Angel Pagan sends one down the line, a fair ball. And this is going to go for extra bases for Pagan. He's on his way to third. And it's going to be a leadoff triple for the New York Mets. And if you want video proof, Aaron Rodgers' first pitch, the ceremonial first pitch. There you go.
Did you warm up in the clubhouse?
I actually did down in the tunnel with Ryan.
That's okay.
You know what? Not as fast as maybe I wanted to, but I think it was in the zone.
It was a
close
strike.
to the zone.
Now, what do? You win the MVP in the Super Bowl. What have you been doing in the summer?
You know what? Just working out and playing a little golf in my off time. But I've been between Northern California and Southern California, and got a great trainer in Southern California and in Northern California as well. Just trying to stay in shape.
A lot of teams are putting groups together, workouts together. We've heard it from a few teams. The Packers are not. Is there a reason behind that? Do you feel it's necessary? What's your thought on that?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts about it, but it's something that at some point, if this lockout persists, then there's no doubt we're going to get together. But guys have gotten some great work individually. Some have gotten together in groups of 2 or 3. There's a lot of guys, kind of in the same area working out. But at some point, we're going to have to get together.
And will you be the one who leads that charge? It makes sense that you would.
I'll definitely be a part of that. I'm going to talk to Charles tomorrow at the event I'm going to. It's for Greg Jennings' charity. And, we're going to put something together here because it looks like it's going to go on a little bit longer. So it's going to be important for us to get together.
Now, the Green Bay Packers are one of the youngest teams in the NFL, right? I mean, if not the youngest. I mean, you guys look looking forward. Things are looking pretty good for you guys.
You know what? I think we're just reloading. We're bringing guys back off of the injured reserve list. I like our draft. Ted Thompson has proven he's able to draft a lot of talented guys. You look at our roster, the majority of them were drafted by him and brought up in Coach McCarthy's system and playing big roles for us.
Aaron Rodgers with us in the booth. Gallardo trying to wiggle out of an early hook here with a leadoff triple from Pagan.
Now, how long does it take for you to recharge the arm? I mean, I don't know how many passes you throw throughout the year. Do you get sore, and do you take some time off and just somewhat do nothing with that arm?
Yeah, I think I've learned in the last 6 years that I need to take a good chunk of time off. So usually take the first 2 months and do 0 throwing. My arm needs to recover. It really doesn't take more than a week or 2 to get it back into game shape.
That one's hit pretty well. Pridey sends Braun deep to left. This is going to be deep enough to get the run home. And the Mets have a 2-0 lead as Pridey flies out, a sacrifice fly and an RBI. So do you how soon do you start throwing curveballs and sliders with the football?
Well, my dad was adamant when I was a kid, no curveballs until I got to be 13. I was actually a pretty good pitcher for a while, then took a break my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school. Played football, didn't work out, so I decided to play baseball my senior year, and was a pitcher and a below-average hitter.
So when you pitch, what kind of velocity did you have as a high schooler? Were you an upper 80s guy, or did you hit 90?
Well,
ball's going to fall, and a base hit for Josh Tolley.
You never know about these guns, but I was told that I hit the low 90s.
Nice.
And I like to run with that because in about 10 years it's going to be about 95.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 95, a little breaking ball. Now you got big hands, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Obviously, you got the big hands. Yeah, they're pretty good sized mitts.
Yes, that helps in the cold weather.
Some backspin.
Yeah. I threw a circle change. That was kind of my out pitch. 2 strikes. But when you're throwing in the high 80s in high school, which I can pretty much tell you I probably was throwing in the high 80s, your fastball can get most hitters out.
I'm not going to ask you to touch my hand.
That's okay.
That was a little awkward there.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to hear about that. But, hey, I've been known to have a big hand, and I noticed I shaking hands with you down the field.
You got a real firm handshake. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks for bailing me out, by the way.
Bet.
That's good.
Continuing to be a little awkward as well. Hand him a baseball, Rock.
Yeah, tell us how you and Ryan Braun became so close.
Yeah, we just met a couple years ago. I came down to a game and was able to be on the field. Got to meet him. Been a big fan since he got to the team, and in that shortened season, his first year, I think he hit like 34 homers and 99 RBIs or something crazy like that. And I'm a fan of the Wisconsin sports. This is home for me, 9 months out of the year, and I pull for obviously the Brewers and the Bucks, and Marquette basketball and Wisconsin basketball and UWM basketball. They had a run last year, so it's been fun to pull for them and get to know Ryan. He's a California guy like myself. We're 2 weeks apart. He's 2 weeks older than I am, and really become really good friends.
Visiting with Aaron Rodgers here in the booth. Great to have him here at Miller Park. Now, opening day was quite a spectacle with all of your teammates spread across the field. I'm sure there was some good-natured texting going on for those who didn't quite make it to the catcher. And that might have been on your mind today for the ceremonial first pitch.
Definitely was. And I got some hits on Twitter. I said I was probably going to be on the mound tonight, and a lot of don't leave it short texts, and I was pretty nervous out there. I wanted to make sure I got it because in the dugout.
There's a base hit into right, cut off by Hart, and the Mets with their 3rd hit in this inning. Tejada gets Gallardo again, his 2nd hit. And 2 on now with 1 away. And let's see if Gallardo can get through this inning. A run is already in. I saw you had a chance to shake hands with Ron Renicky. He's a big fan of yours, and I know he was anxious to meet you. Did he ask you to maybe give a little win one for the Gipper speech at all?
No, Ron was teasing. He was telling him that I had some speech planned, but I'm not a big rah-rah guy. I leave that to Charles Woodson and head coach McCarthy, who loves doing that kind of stuff. But you know, Ryan and I have a great relationship. Like to tease each other a lot, and you know, the locker room, their locker room is great. It reminds me of our locker room. A lot of really good guys. The guys really get along, and I know they hang out a lot too, which I think is an underestimated part of a team's chemistry and a team's ability to have success.
Well, it's such a big part of it, isn't it, Rock? When you go through a long season and you're with these guys every day.
Yeah, it's like a family. I mean, it's probably been more so in football because you know, you rely on each other out there on the baseball field, but you know, baseball is more of a an individual game played as a team concept. Football, I mean, you got to rely on your center and your line and your receivers to do the job. So it's got to be important for everybody to pretty much get along. I guess not everybody gets along, but you know, respect each other.
No, but I can say about our team is we have our guys hang out together. We enjoy each other. We have fun with each other. Play jokes on each other. You know, it's a great group of men and a great group of friends. And I can tell in their locker room that they have the same kind of dynamic. And talking to Ryan, you know, he just really enjoys the dynamic they have in the locker room. You know, it's funny also to be in the locker room and to watch. Like in football, different position groups have different personalities. You know, you got the specialists who are kind of a little different. You got the D-line and the receivers and the running backs. Everybody's kind of got that personality. Same thing on a baseball team. You have the older guys, the younger guys, the starting pitchers, the relief pitchers, the closer. You know, John with his mustache and all the stuff he's got going on. I love the dynamic of a locker room. And you know, they were in there before watching that interview that. What's his name?
Niger.
Yeah, we watched it about 7 times.
You can call him Tony Plush if you want.
His alter ego. That was incredible. And the guys are ripping them, and that's the same kind of stuff that happens in our locker room. Just you know, guys pulling pranks and making fun of each other all the time. But we're, you know, I can tell it's a close knit group.
Have you ever explored an alter ego, Aaron?
No,
because they might fit you well in the NFL.
Yeah, I'll tell you what else wouldn't fit well in the NFL, not knowing the game situation. You know, like Niger
thought it was the 8th inning.
Right.
I know.
He thought he didn't think the game was over. So I think it's important for you to know, you know, down distance, how much time on the clock.
Obviously, hasn't seen one of the greatest movies of all time either, Braveheart.
Yeah, he had no idea what that reference was.
I know.
He was going with the Usain Bolt reference. He's up there to bunt, pulls it back, takes a called strike 3. And there is out number 2. That is strikeout number 5 for Giovanni Gallardo. And Aaron Rodgers here in the booth, visiting with the great Packer. How is your, I don't want to say your life as we take a look at the Braveheart moment. See, I thought that was a perfect reference, but apparently not.
Zach Braddock lighting up the end of the arrow. Yeah, it's Braveheart.
It's not Usain Bolt. I never saw him light the arrow.
No.
But Aaron, how is your life changed? You know, that's a dramatic way to phrase it. But look, you went to the Super Bowl. You're a champion. People treat you differently, think about you differently because you've won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think just a little bit more recognizable. I've done kind of the same things that I usually do in the off season, the Kentucky Derby and other events I like to do, and just probably been a little bit more recognizable. Other than that, obviously there's more opportunities off the field, you know, not only personal but also to promote different charities. And I've really enjoyed the platform that I think the Super Bowl has given me, knowing that, you know, you go to an event like Andy Norris that I did on Sunday and Monday for the Carbone Cancer Facility, and the incredible work they're doing. To be able to be a part of that where they raised $900,000 is just it's a special feeling knowing I can be just a small part of that.
Well, you can have such an impact with that platform as well. As Weeks makes the play on Jose Reyes. It's been a thrill to have you, Aaron. We appreciate you coming up.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Flesh this time. Thanks for joining us in the booth.
Thanks a lot.
Aaron Rodgers has been with us, Super Bowl MVP after a perfect strike for the ceremonial first pitch. Maybe a little mojo here. Brewers trail by 2.
So far, early on, it's been the Mets. Tejada with the base hit to center, scoring a run, giving the Mets a 1-0 lead. Then Jason Pridey with the sac fly to deep left, making it 2-0 Mets. And on the other side of the hill, it's just been a great night so far for Jonathan Nice. He's been perfect through 3. There, he gets Corey Hart with strike. Right now, it is 2-0 Mets, bottom of the 4th.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And the Brewers trying to break up this run for Jonathan Nice. He's retired 9 in a row, including back-to-back strikeouts in the 3rd inning. And now 4 Ks for Nice as Weeks finally back in the box here in the 4th. And a shot right to Turner. Nice play. And gets the out at first. Well done. We'll check back in with Brandon.
All right, again this season, the Brewers Community Foundation 50-50 raffle is back. Raffle tickets are sold throughout the ballpark until the 4th inning of every home game. The winning ticket will be announced at the top of the 6th inning, and the winning ticket will take home half of the net proceeds from the day's raffle ticket sales, with the other half going to the Brewers Community Foundation. So far this season, total contributions are more than $400,000. B.A.?
All right, thanks, Brandon. That's good to hear. Corey Hart with one away. It was great to spend a few moments with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, what a class act he is.
Yeah, he is. Good guy. Very active in the community, within Wisconsin. Big sports fan.
And he's in town to support Greg Jennings and the event going on tomorrow, the Habitat for Humanity event. Certainly want to help promote that. And he's a big baseball fan. He loves the Brewers, and we've spotted him over the years here, but good to get him up here in the booth for a few moments. There's a grounder out to short. Reyes. And out number 2. 11 straight retired by Nice.
Yeah, 11 straight and only 2 fly ball outs. A lot of strikeouts and ground balls. You're not going to get hurt too bad when you keep pitches down in the strike zone. Both fly balls have come to center field. One was that line drive by Lucroy. Far and away the best hit ball tonight by the Brewers.
Now 2 gone. Here is Ryan Braun now. Braun lined out in the 1st inning. It's been 2 hard hit balls in this game. Braun and Lucroy both lining out to Angel Pagan in center field. Well, Rock, outside of the 4-run 8th inning yesterday, the Brewers really haven't done much offensively in this series other than the Fielder home runs in the first 2 games. They got him when they needed him last night, though, just in the nick of time.
Yep, big 4-run 8th inning. That's the way it goes. I mean, there are times you're going to have to rely on your pitching to keep you in the ball games. The Brewers have certainly gotten that for the most part all year.
Neither starter in this series for the Brewers with a win, but both pitched very well. Sean Markham went 6 shutout on Tuesday night, and then Randy Wolf last night 6 2/3, just 1 run. And there is the first blemish for Jonathan Nice. Ryan Braun draws the walk, and he brings up the red-hot Prince Fielder with 2 away. Fielder over his last 13 games, a batting average of .381. He's hit 6 home runs, and those 6 home runs have all come in the last 6 games. 17 runs batted in, and not only is Fielder hitting the home runs, but he's hitting the clutch home runs, those that tie games or give the Brewers the lead.
Yep, and when they're not pitching to him, he's taking his walks. Prince Fielder, and we're in the mid part of June. We're at June 9th. He's got more walks than strikeouts this year. What a good season he's putting together. Leads the National League in RBIs, tied for the league lead in home runs. Sprinkled all over that National League leaderboard in offense.
Well, and as the success rises, so do the expectations. And you start to feel like Prince Fielder can hit a home run in every game, which is not realistic, but the way he's gone lately, it has been. A big curveball from Nice. Threw him a 2-0 curveball, and he drops one in there for a strike.
And that's why he's had such a good stretch. His last 4 have been very good. 2 of his last 4 starts, he has not allowed a run, and that curveball, big reason.
Fielder into right center field. That one's got some heat on it, and that ball is off the base of the wall. Braun around third. He is going to try to score. The throw to the plate late. Braun scores, and Fielder stays hot. An RBI double for Prince Fielder, and the Brewers are on the board here in the 4th inning.
No, the walk and the double by Prince Fielder. Good eye by Brawny. He's got great speed on the bases and off on contact. Yep, fastball that was supposed to be inside, lifted out just enough for Prince to get the barrel of the bat on it and knock it off that right center field fence. And with 2 outs, Ed Cedar waves Brawny in and able to get on the board.
So Fielder drives in his league-leading 55th home RBI of the year on a double to right center. When it first left the bat, it had that look that it might be caught by Beltran, but had enough on it to get over his head and all the way to the base of the wall. That just shows you how strong he is.
Yeah.
He didn't come close to squaring up that baseball.
Yeah, when he squares them up, they're not going to come back.
That's right.
Pretty much. Which tells you he doesn't have to get them all to rattle them off the fence. Something else. Some kind of special season for Prince Fielder.
Well, now he represents the tying run at second base. Casey McGee at the plate. Nice struck out McGee with a curveball his last time up. He got him looking. And a bouncing ball to Murphy. And the side retired. But Prince Fielder keeps it going. Another run batted in, number 55 of the year. It's 2-1 Mets. The dynamic duo, Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder, now at the 100 RBI milestone as a tandem this year. By far and away the best RBI tandem in the big leagues. Paul Konerko and Carlos Quentin second on that list, 8 RBIs behind Braun and Fielder. So 100 RBIs from the 3 and 4 hitter in this Brewers lineup in game number 62 of the season. It's a lot of production from 2 players. Fielder with his 55th RBI, a 2-out RBI double. There's a line drive base hit. Justin Turner with his first hit of the night. Well, the Mets are getting their hits against Gallardo. That is number 7.
Well, that brings us tonight's Tavern of the Game winner. It's Tippy Toe Inn in Chaseburg, Wisconsin. The Tippy Toe Inn. If the Tavern Contact calls the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
So the Mets have a lead man on once again. Had a leadoff triple last inning. That run came around to score. Pagan. 2-1 Mets. Carlos Beltran is 1 for 1 at the plate. He has a single and a walk in this game. Beltran, one of the 3 key New York Mets that is in the final year of a contract, as he shoots one to the opposite field, a base hit. A good piece of hitting right there. And first and second now for the Mets. That leads us to our Carsoup.com email the booth question. Dave in Osceola wants to know, what is the difference between a 2-seam fastball and a 4-seam fastball? Aaron Rodgers was mentioning he used to throw a 2-seamer and a 4-seam.
Yeah, well, 2-seam fastball is normally your highest velocity pitch. You've got your middle finger and index finger across the seams. You get a good grip on that baseball. Now, a 2-seamer is going to be along the seams, and you get a little bit more sink. You're not going to get as much velocity. You might not be able to control it as well, but you're going to get the movement that you don't get with a 4-seamer. The 4-seamer is more of a control pitch and velocity pitch.
And that's the pitch that Gallardo uses in combination with his curveball. Can pitch that one up in the zone, ride it high, and you get a lot of swings and misses on that pitch. Pitches kind of belong in pairs, don't they? Curveball, high fastball. Gallardo also has a slider to go along with that low fastball, the 2-seamer.
That 4-seamer, big curveball, sinker, slider. Those are the kind of 2 different types of, breaking ball, fastball type pitchers. Let you mix and match. There's some guys that have all 4 pitches.
That is a foul ball, not by much. That would have been big trouble. But it just slices foul, and a break for Gallardo and the Brewers. That could have scored 2 there.
Well, the pitch was away, but it was up. And Murphy able to slice it down that left field line.
Well, Gallardo ahead of him, a ball and 2 strikes. Murphy and Reyes, the only 2 Mets regulars without a hit. Everybody else has already posted at least 1 hit tonight. And already 8 hits for the Mets.
And Giovanni approaching 100 pitches already, and we're only in the 5th inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Murphy. Gallardo could use a K. And a little flare. That's going to fall. A base hit. Braun over to cover. They're going to send the runner. And Braun's throw to the plate. It is high. The run scores. Both runners advance on the base pads. And it's 3-1 Mets.
Well, an ill-advised throw by Ryan Braun. I mean, that would have been a tremendous play to get him out at home plate. Talking about Turner, you got to hit the cutoff, man. No chance for any cutoff on that, and both runners able to advance. And it's one thing to make that throw into home plate. It's another to make the throw into home plate, hit the cutoff man to allow your third baseman to decide whether to cut down another runner. See, if he hits the cutoff man, I think you have a chance at Beltran at third base. Actually, it would have been Prince in the cutoff.
Well, a run is in now, 2nd and 3rd. That forces the Brewers infield in. And Angel Pagan delivers one to right. A base hit, 1 run in. That's Beltran. Murphy will be held. And Gallardo is having a rough night here at Miller Park and is nearing the end. 4-1 Mets.
And the Mets very aggressive, and that was a fastball that was supposed to be on the outside corner but ended up down the middle, and Pagan picks on it and hits it hard into right field. Well, 96 pitches already here for Gallardo, and that's going to be it for him.
Yep, Gallardo taken out. Ron Renicky will make the call to the bullpen early tonight. And it's going to be Tim Dillard. The Mets with runners at the corners, nobody out, and a 4-1 lead here in the 5th inning. We'll take a break. Two runs are in, 2 are on with nobody out. And a reminder that this week Fox Saturday Baseball returns as the struggling Cubs head to Philadelphia. They'll take on Ryan Howard and the NL East leading Phillies. This week's telecast of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 3 p.m. Central. So Gallardo is out, his shortest outing of the year, 4+ innings. And Tim Dillard, the sidewinder, will take over with runners at the corners.
Yeah, gave up 2 runs in his first outing of the season back on May 23rd and has been putting up 0 since. He pitched on Sunday and Monday in Florida and has not pitched since.
Well, Jason Pridey, the batter for the Mets. Dillard pitched out of a major jam on Sunday in Florida. Came in with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th inning against the 2 best hitters in the Marlins lineup and got out of it. Got out of it clean as well. Got the final 2 outs. And of course the Brewers would win that game in extra innings. So he has been in some pretty hot spots this season. Dillard picked up his first major league win on Sunday, and he was greeted in the clubhouse by a beverage bath, which included a little shaving cream as well, just for good measure.
Yeah, got to do it. First win. Got to make a mess of them.
The Brewers will concede the run to turn 2. And a swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for Tim Dillard. And now there's a way out of this inning without any more runs coming across.
Yeah, get the strikeout and the double play, and you limit the damage to 2 runs. Hey, Dillard has really been throwing well. There's a backdoor slider. You can see the way that's actually a changeup. That's that new pitch that he's been throwing, the changeup. My mistake. Knew it wasn't a fastball. He's getting more and more confidence in that changeup. Starting to throw a lot more of them.
Well, here's Josh Tolley. The runner goes, throw to second late. That's a stolen base. So it takes Dillard and the Brewers out of a double play opportunity as Pagan swipes second base. 9 steals for Angel Pagan. And that's a big one. Pretty good throw by Lucroy, just a hair late. And now the Brewers are going to have to bring their infield in. It's only singled his last time up. In the air to right. This could be close here at the plate. Tagging is Murphy. And he's going to try it. The throw to the plate. A beauty. The tag. Out at home. Corey Hart guns down Daniel Murphy. And indeed the Brewers are out of the inning. What a great throw from the Brewers right fielder. Right on the mark. And the Brewers get out of the mess. The All-Star ballot and enter to win a trip to the All-Star game in Phoenix. Compliments of Scott's. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning from Miller Park. The Mets lead 4-1. Could have been a whole lot worse. A great throw from Corey Hart.
I'm going to start calling Tim Dillard Houdini.
That's right.
He finds himself in some bad spots and able to get out of it without any damage.
Betancourt into center field. Over is Pagan, and there is out number 1. Now some AT&T trivia tonight. Test your baseball knowledge. Who was the last Brewers pitcher to win 6 straight starts in a season? Giovanni Gallardo's streak of 6 consecutive wins will be snapped tonight. The Brewers are hoping to take him off the hook as the losing pitcher this evening. Does not happen very often.
A month of starts and you win every one of them. That's tough to do.
Gallardo's winning streak began on the 7th of May.
Well, he pitched well, and the Brewers averaged about 5 runs a game for him. So you have to be a little bit lucky in that you get some run support, but you have to pitch well to go along with it.
Just one of those nights for Gallardo. It is his shortest start of the year. It had been 5 innings. Tonight he goes 4+. But Dillard came on and did the job. He got out of a mess thanks to a great throw and ended up as a double play to end the 5th inning. And Dillard is a guy that can give you a few innings. Now his spot in the batting order is coming up 3rd now. And Lucroy swings and misses. Down he goes on strikes.
And there's that curveball again from Nice. He's had a good one all night. Hasn't thrown too many of them that have not been either swung at or been in the strike zone for a called strike.
5 strikeouts now for Jonathan Neese. And 2 gone for Carlos Gomez, the former Met. He's traded from the Mets to the Twins, part of that Johan Santana deal. The Brewers acquired Gomez 2 off seasons ago for J.J. Hardy. Hardy is now in Baltimore with the Orioles.
JJ's swinging the bat pretty well after coming off the disabled list with the Orioles. Got off to a slow start, but JJ's swinging the bat.
0-2 pitch to Gomez. Down he goes. Neese carves up the bottom of the order. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Gives him 6 Ks for the game. The Mets lead the Brewers 4-1. We head to the 6th inning from Miller Park. And Tim Dillard back on the mound. He got out of a mess in the 5th. The Mets end up stranding 1. They get only 2. And the Brewers still in striking distance. Ruben Tejada will lead off. Tejada has 2 hits tonight. He's also driven in a run. And in the pitcher spot, Jonathan Neese. Then back to the top of the order, Reyes. Some news across baseball today. The Oakland Athletics fired their manager, Bob Guerin. And Bob Melvin taking over as the interim manager in Oakland. Bob Melvin was among the finalists for the Brewers managerial position this past offseason. There's a team not fulfilling expectations in Oakland with a great pitching staff. Certainly a winnable division in the American League West. Nobody has really jumped out at this point. The Rangers are the division leaders, 2.5 games. Oakland trying to salvage that season, but they're 8 games back. Dillard makes a play, slings one over the fielder for out number 1. When you say he's a sidearmer, he's always a sidearmer, even when he makes a play to first.
Yeah, which means he can get some pretty good sink in that throw to Prince.
The last Brewers pitcher to win 6 straight starts in a season, like Gallardo just did. And the answer is Manny Parra, believe it or not. That's a surprise. Through May and June of 2008. Parra still injured. He's had problems with his back and his elbow. Not sure about his return to the big leagues.
Yeah, he's just having a nightmare season as Manny Parra. Just can't seem to get things right, physically.
He threw to one batter in spring training. That's about the extent of his competition this year.
And speaking of having problems, Jake Peavy back on the disabled list for the White Sox. Has not turned out to be a very good deal for the Sox getting Peavy.
So Gallardo wins 6 straight after his win over the Marlins on Saturday night. Manny Parra, the only other pitcher in Brewers franchise history in the last 19 years, as Dillard strikes out Nice. So it's interesting, you go almost 2 decades and you've had 2 pitchers do it in the last 4 seasons.
It's tough to do, as we talked about it. It's, you know, a month plus of starts and you win every one of them without no decision in there. You have to have a little bit of luck, but you also have to throw very well. Another off-speed pitch from Tim Dillard, even throwing one to the pitcher.
Top of the order, here is Reyes. Well, we mentioned that string of starts for Gallardo, the 6 straight, not just the wins, but allowing 2 runs or fewer in each of those starts. There have been only 2 pitchers in Brewers history that have accomplished that feat, to win 6 in a row while allowing 2 or fewer runs. Cal Eldred and Teddy Higuera. So Gallardo was in some pretty big company among the franchise leaders on the mound. And all of that comes to an end tonight. Now the Brewers just hoping to take him off the hook. Center field, long run. Gomez racing toward, and he runs it down. Wow, what speed. Carlos Gomez just flying across the outfield. Tracks one down, robs Reyes of a base hit. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Tim Dillard. Of the Milwaukee Brewers, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. The famous racing sausages. They look fast in slow motion even, don't they?
They do.
I didn't catch the winner tonight. Did the Polish hang on?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention, but I was looking at the scoreboard. You know, they keep the results. You know, they tally them out throughout the year.
Yes.
I think it was last night. I looked up there. The Bratwurst had only had 1 victory this year. He's having a bad year.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He's usually one of the favorites.
Yeah, usually a fast starter. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully things turn around for him. Josh Wilson is the pinch hitter. Wilson hit that dramatic home run on Sunday against the Florida Marlins, a game winner for the Brew Crew Sunday. That was in his first start of the season. Wilson has made just one start. He has as many home runs already this year in 18 at-bats for the Brewers than he did all of last year as a member of the Seattle Mariners.
And that was one road trip. Cincinnati and Florida.
Three balls, two strikes on Wilson. And he lost him. Nice gives up the leadoff walk. That's the second walk for Nice tonight. The first one was Braun, and he came around to score.
Well, the first time the Brewers have had their leadoff hitter on. And the top of the order coming up.
Pitch count for Nice is in great shape. He's thrown just 59 pitches at this point. And he's already in the 6th inning. But now you're getting in the 3rd time through the batting order. Ricky Weeks is 0 for 2. A couple of groundouts. The last one was a rocket over to third base. A great play by Justin Turner.
Ricky's hitting into some bad luck in this series. He had 3 rockets to right last night, all caught.
He could very easily have 4 hits already in the series in the last 2 games. Instead, Ricky's still looking for his first hit of the series. This is a double play ball here. 6-4-3. The Mets turn up 2.
Well, continues to pound the strike zone and keep it down. There's only been 3 fly ball outs tonight, all coming to center field. 6 strikeouts and the rest ground balls. Ricky beats that one to the ground. Had made good contact on it, but right at Reyes.
Here's Corey Hart. There's strike 1. Nice has been tough on Hart tonight. Strikeout and a ground out this evening. Hart into center field. Back is Pagan with room. Inning over. Turns out to be a quick one for the left-hander Jonathan Nice. He is cruising right now. Final game of the series with the New York Mets, and the Brewers need a comeback tonight to win the series. Our Toyota game summary: the Mets 4-1 over the Brewers. Jonathan Nice has been the story tonight. He's given up just 1 hit. That was a Prince Fielder RBI double, and that run came in the 4th inning. That has been it against Jonathan Nice. Gallardo, the shortest start of his season. Angel Pagan has a couple of hits. He has driven in a run. The Mets with 4 runs on 10 hits. Tim Dillard went 2 scoreless, and now it's going to be Sergio Mitre on the pitch for the Brew Crew.
2.16 earned run average for Sergio. He pitched a scoreless ninth inning on Monday at Florida. Probably expected to eat up minimum 2 innings here tonight. Good job again by Tim Dillard. Boy, he's looked good since he's come up.
And is starting to put together some numbers that is going to earn him some late clutch innings, you would figure.
He's got some impressive inherited runners numbers right now.
It could have very easily been a 5 or 6 run night against Gallardo. Instead, Dillard comes on with 2 on and nobody out and gets through the inning with no more runs coming across. Justin Turner leads off. 1 for 3 tonight. He singled against Gallardo and scored the 3rd run back in the 5th inning. A crowd of over 30,000, 30,632 in attendance tonight. Expecting a little rain tomorrow, but then the forecast looks great for the weekend. Sunny skies and temperatures in the 60s. So you figure the tailgating will be in full force.
Yeah, we could use some rain, can't we? More rain? Come on.
Our 2 days of summer have come and gone.
It was raining pretty good leaving the ballpark last night.
It was.
Goodness.
There's a strike, 3-2 on Turner.
That's what's great about Miller Park. Don't even know it's raining until you leave.
We saw the lightning show, though, and we heard the thunder, and it was right about the same time all the damage was being done at the plate in the 8th inning. Off the glove of McGee and into left field, a base hit. And again, the Mets have their leadoff runner aboard. A ton of hits tonight for the Mets. That is number 11.
Yeah, 11 hits for the Mets, only 1 for Milwaukee, but they're able to plate a run with it. That was that Prince Fielder double after Braun walked with 2 outs, and just off the glove of McGee. But a base hit for Turner.
And now it's going to be Beltran, who has not been retired tonight. A walk and 2 hits. Well, Carlos Beltran might have a shot if the Mets don't stay in it of providing a big bat for someone down the postseason stretch. Beltran in the final year of his contract. He is wrapping up a 7-year deal. Pops it up. Carlos Gomez will make the play, and it is out number 1.
Nice play by Corey Hart. A perfect throw over to Jonathan Lucroy. Check out where the ball bounces. He gives Luke a very good ball with which to field, and Lucroy blocks off home plate. Beltran never got the home plate. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. And Tim Dillard strands a couple of base runners.
Ended up being a double play to end the inning. Great throw from Hart. Not only has a strong arm, but an accurate arm, and he showed both to get the final out of that frame. And if the Brewers come back tonight like they did last night, you're going to look back at that 5th inning, and that was truly a turning point in this game. If the Brewers can get some offense going against Jonathan Neese.
Yep, 2 stranded inherited base runners for Tim Dillard, giving him 5 for 5 this year.
The Mets are headed to Pittsburgh. They continue their long road trip. It's a 4-game series in Pittsburgh, while the Brewers bring in the St. Louis Cardinals tomorrow. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw, a short hop, safe at second. Turner steals second base. Good throw would have had him, but the short hop And Turner is able to slide in under the tag of Betancourt.
Yep, second stolen base for the Mets. Yep, pretty good throw. The short hop caused Betancourt to bring the glove up, and that's what allowed Turner to get in there safely.
That is the 4th stolen base of the year for Turner. And the Mets with a couple of steals tonight. I saw where Pittsburgh's catcher, Chris Snyder, remember all the back troubles he was having at the beginning of the year? He is now going to have to undergo back surgery tomorrow. His season is over.
Yeah, another guy that's had a tough time staying healthy. He had a promising career. Big guy, pretty good catcher, had some pop in his bat. That's a tough injury to get over. I mean, that's a long recovery process. And the Pirates playing some very good baseball. They're at 500 this year.
That's one of the latest times on the schedule they have been at 500 in recent memory. Clint Hurdle's got them turned around a little bit. Kevin Correa leading that pitching staff, but it's a big loss losing Snyder, their everyday catcher. Ryan Doman is hurt as well. He's on his way back soon. There's a lot of news on the injury front. The New York Yankees are concerned that Jabba Chamberlain might need Tommy John surgery on his elbow. The Brewers will see the Yankees in interleague play at the end of the month. And remember, all of that pitching depth that the Yankees had this spring made Sergio Mitre expendable. And they traded Mitre to the Brewers for Chris Dickerson for an outfielder. Probably wishing they had some of that pitching depth back. Two balls, two strikes on Murphy. 3-2. Well, it's possible that Phil Hughes will be back with the Yankees when the Brewers end up in New York at the end of the month. He's going to be starting a rehab assignment. That's a big loss for the Yankees in their rotation. Red Sox have handed it to the Yankees the last couple of nights. Ground ball to Weeks. There is out number 2. Checking some news and notes from around baseball. Bob Guerin out. Bob Melvin in for the Oakland Athletics. John Malley was fired as the Marlins hitting coach. Eduardo Perez goes from television to the uniform again.
How about that, huh?
And it's interesting that Logan Morrison spoke out against the firing of his hitting coach and kind of pointed a finger at the owner. Travis Hafner on his way back from the DL. That's a big bat for the Indians to get back. I was surprised to see the comments of Logan Morrison.
Well, you hate to see the hitting coaches being the scapegoat for guys not swinging the bat. Hanley Ramirez hitting about 200. Is that the hitting coach's fault? He's a guy that won a batting title. They got some young players that can swing the bats. We saw that in that series in Florida.
The Marlins continue to struggle. They have lost 7 consecutive home games during this stretch. So the hitting coach is the one who is out. The Rangers also fired their hitting coach yesterday, and Scott Coolbaugh will take over as the Texas Rangers hitting coach. So he is back in the big leagues. Remember, his younger brother Mike was a victim of a line drive. He died while coaching in the Rangers, or rather the Rockies organization. So a lot of turnover going on around baseball. Mitre with 2 outs, but he is behind in the count 3-0 to Pagan. See if Pagan has the green light here. Got a runner at third. And he takes ball 4. First and third, 2 away. Justin Pridey will be next.
Sergio with that big sinking fastball has got good movement on it, but he's having a tough time locating that pitch tonight. He's been able to get the 2 outs. Brewers cannot afford to fall any further behind, not with the way Nice has been throwing tonight. This guy's been very good.
He's only given up 1 hit. And a pitch out, runner not going.
Guy on one of the base stealers, but with the guy struggling to throw strikes, tough to get him in the hole right away. He's a big hitter right here.
And a fake to third. The throw to second. They got a runner in a pickle here as Betancourt races to the bag, not in time. And now they're going to point Pagan to second base. And are they going to call interference?
That's got to be the call. Interference. I don't know who the interference is going to be on. Did Pagan touch Prince Fielder? Umpire went over and had a chat with Prince. That's Rob Drake, the first base umpire. Any contact whatsoever in a situation like that, runner and fielder, any position player, the runner is going to get the next base. No, the fake to third and go to first works. That doesn't work hardly ever, but let's see what happens here. Does Pagan make contact with fielder? He did. He looks like he reached his hand out there, didn't he?
Sure did.
He reaches his hand out. That shouldn't count.
Should be a good look at it here. And
actually never did touch him. He had to avoid fielder, but they're calling the interference anyway.
So it's second and third now. And the 1-0 to Pridey, a bouncing ball to fielder, and no harm done. Mitre gets out of it. A scoreless 7th. And now the big boys are coming up. The Brewers need to get something going offensively. Braun, Fielder, and McGee due up.
Only 3 base runners. 2 of them are set to come up here, Augie, in Braun and Fielder. What has impressed you with Jonathan Nice out on the mound?
Well, they say he's changed his style a little bit. He used to be of a cut fastball type pitcher, but he's gone to a breaking ball now. So what he's been able to do is execute the fastball up and down, in and out in the strike zone, and use curveball very efficiently.
If anyone knows, it's Augie, no doubt. We're also getting set for a Brewers Live postgame. Let's see if the Brewers can rally like they did last night, Brian.
All right, Craig, thanks. Looking forward to Brewers Live coming up after the game tonight. A 4-1 Mets lead. The Mets have 11 hits. The Brewers just 1. Prince Fielder RBI double with 2 outs in the 4th. Nice started this game by retiring the first 11 batters before Braun walked. And a bouncing ball in the hole. Reyes, long throw, no chance. Braun, an infield hit. Well, we are seeing Braun's speed in play tonight. Not just in the outfield, but running the bases.
Well, you can see once that ball got in the hole like that, Reyes with good range, but just not able to get enough on the throw. And Ryan Braun still another infield hit, sniffing base hit, kicks it into high gear and beats it easily. Another leadoff base runner for the Brewers, back-to-back innings.
Braun was able to score from first on a fielder double in the 4th inning. Now Prince up there again with the Brewers down 3 and a mighty hack. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. You see Fielder's night tonight. He grounded out of the 2nd, hit it sharply though, and then the double in the RBI in the 4th gives him 55 ribbies, the National League leader in runs batted in. That is off the toe of Josh Tolley. And Braun is into second base. He just whiffed that ball. See how they score that. Ah, hit the ground. I beg your pardon.
It was certainly a ball that the catcher has got to be able to handle. He got crossed up. Or he got kind of handcuffed, not crossed up. Should have had the glove with the fingers down. Would have had it.
That'll be a wild pitch. So now Braun in scoring position. Fielder a chance to carve away at that deficit. You just wonder at some point, even at the risk of bringing the tying run to the plate, how much more are the Mets going to pitch to Fielder in this series after the damage that he's done. Got a base open at first, a 3-1 count on Prince. Casey McGee to follow. Threw him a curveball. Fielder a huge cut, and it's 3-2.
Yep, 3-1 curveball to Prince. Had a pretty good swing at it, but not wanting to challenge Fielder with a fastball and a fastball count. And there's that curveball again. He's thrown a lot of them and hasn't made any mistakes with it.
Fielder draws the walk. That's the other part of Prince's game. Rock mentioned it earlier, the fact that he'll stay patient, he'll draw his walks, and yes, Casey McGee is a struggling hitter behind him, but he trusts his teammates around him, and now the Brewers bring the tying run to the plate.
Yep. And you've got a very due Casey McGee. It's been a while for Casey. You know, just for some housekeeping on that play, that interference. It was called obstruction, not interference. Prince Fielder was right in the base path of the runner trying to get back to first base. That's why Rob Drake called obstruction, not interference. That makes sense.
Yeah. And no damage done eventually as Mitre retired Pridey, and the Mets stranded a pair. So the Mets have had their chances tonight. They've had a number of chances to put this game away. They have not, and now the Brewers with their best rally of the night. They have 2 on, nobody out, and Casey McGee, oh so due, coming up. One swing of the bat and we could be tied up. McGee's last home run was on the 20th of May against Colorado. It came here at Miller Park. Crowd starting to chant Casey. Standing behind their slugger. And he starts him with a curveball. struck him out on that same pitch back in the second.
He called strike 3 on McGee on a 3-2 pitch. So he's throwing that pitch at any count. That's what makes him so tough tonight.
Last year, McGee named as the Brewers' most valuable player. 23 home runs, drove in 104. And the club leader in RBIs. 2 balls and a strike on McGee. Neese has barely broken a sweat tonight against the Brewers. Been pitching mostly from the windup. In a jam here as McGee takes a ball. 3-1.
Well, in these situations all night long, Neese has gone with a curveball. Well, do you dare look for it here? Or do you just sit back expecting fastball? Let's see what he does.
3 balls and a strike. And McGee into right field. Back is Beltran. And he makes the catch on the track. Braun will tag. He'll end up at third. Oh, McGee hit it hard. Beltran makes the play for the first out of the inning.
That was a high fastball, and Casey able to get on top of it. Well, started him out with the bread and butter all night long. Neese with a curveball for a called strike. And then he tried to nibble to get Casey to chase. Fastballs, curveball, and a fastball up. Casey got a good swing at it on a 3-1 pitch. Nearly drove it out of here, but not to be.
Another tough break for McGee. Now runners at the corners now. And here is Betancourt. Swinging away at the first pitch. He fouls it back. Well, the Brewers need to cash this run in here. A lot of ways to score him. That's outfield very deep against Betancourt. Won't take much to get Braun to the plate. He has such good speed. And a pop-up, long run. Murphy and Tolle, and it's Tolle who makes the catch. The second out of the inning.
Man, that's a killer right there. With the way this guy's been throwing the baseball, you got to take advantage of these opportunities. Man at third, less than 2. Did a good job tying up Betancourt and got him on the foul pop. That's a heck of a play by the Mets catcher right there. Running right across the on-deck circle with all that stuff over there. Finds it and is able to get to it and haul it in. Good play.
Well, now it's going to be Lucroy. Braun and fielder reach, an infield hit and a walk. Now 2 outs for Neese with Lucroy at the plate. And there's strike 1. Lucroy is 0 for 2. He hit one sharply in the third inning, a line drive out to center. Brewers need a big hit from the bottom of their order. Don't want to let this inning go by without a run. 0-2. The first time all night the Brewers have had multiple runners on at the same time. One and 2 on Lucroy. Lucroy has been a pretty good hitter in spots like this.
Now, if Neese gets that curveball up, those are the pitches ordinarily that Lucroy knocks out of the ballpark. Let's see if he hangs one here. He hasn't all night.
Just missed. Went with a fastball. The count evens at 2-2. One of the reasons Renicky likes Lucroy in the bottom third of the batting order, to provide some punch in situations just like this. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and down he goes. A called strike 3. The Brewers let a golden opportunity go by. You got to tip your hat to Nice. He pitches out of it. Another scoreless inning. Still 4-1 Mets. We go to the 8th. Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Airtran, go, there's nothing stopping you. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle, taste greatness. We go to the 8th inning from Miller Park, and coming up tomorrow, the Cardinals in town to start a 3-game series. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap on Fox Sports Wisconsin on Friday and Sunday, WMLW Saturday night. Josh Tolle leads off, and it goes off the glove of Casey McGee, and that is going to be the second Brewers error.
And relatively routine. A couple of hops. Casey going over toward the hole off the glove, and that will be an E5 on Casey McGee. A ball that he will tell you he should have had.
A fan has run onto the field. Security will take care of him. Now the Cardinals have just put 5 runs on the board in the 6th inning. They lead the Astros 6-1. They're trying to win that series against Houston. And the Redbirds in tomorrow. First time St. Louis has been here at Miller Park this season. The Brewers lost a series in St. Louis. Chris Narveson against Kyle Loesch tomorrow. Bouncing ball, McGee, nice play to second, a low throw. Everybody's safe, and that's going to be another error on McGee. The third Brewers error and the second in consecutive hitters.
Yep, that'll be a fielder's choice and an error on Casey, allowing the runner at first to get to second. A good play to knock it down, but rushed his throw trying to turn the double play. You know, in that situation, what is the old adage? Make sure of one. That's a tough throw for Ricky to handle, and not able to do it.
Casey McGee has now committed 11 errors. And these could be costly here. 2 on, nobody out. Nice with a chance to bunt. Nice has gone 7 innings on the mound, giving up just 1 run on 2 hits. And still plenty in the tank to finish this game. Bunts right through it. Strike 2.
About the only thing he hasn't done well tonight is handle the bat.
He has struck out 3 times. Mitre could use a strikeout here. Might see the Brewers take a shot at an out at third base. As Nice bunts it foul. There is strikeout number 4 for Jonathan Nice in this game. Nice has 7 strikeouts as a pitcher. He has struck out 4 times as a hitter.
He's not been able to help much offensively, but he really hasn't needed a whole lot of help. Of course, this is only a 3-run game. 11 hits and only 4 runs for the Mets. As you mentioned, they've had a ton of opportunities to break this thing open. And the Brewers find themselves right there.
But a dangerous hitter coming up with 2 on. Jose Reyes, who is hitless tonight. Gomez had a nice running catch to end the 6th inning on Reyes. The league's leading hitter when the day started. In the air, he popped him up. Routine for Braun. Out number 2. Well, if Mitre gets through this 8th inning unscathed, Miller Park will get ready to roar for the bottom of the 8th. Got Gomez coming up, the pitcher spot, and then back to the top of the order. If you can get something going from the 8-9 spot of the order, turn it over to Weeks and Hart, Braun and Fielder, you never know. That was the recipe last night. Two on, 2 out. Justin Turner, the batter. Bouncing ball. McGee's got it this time. Fires to second. Out of the inning. What a job, Sergio Mitre. Had to get 5 outs that inning. No problem. They have not taken advantage, and the Brewers still in there. Ho-Chunk Gaming text question tonight. Dawn wants to know, why was Nigel Morgan credited with a double in his final at-bat last night?
No, it's because Nigel wasn't sure how many or what the inning was. Normally you get a base hit like that, you just touch first, and then you kind of start celebrating. Nigel wasn't sure about the inning, not sure of the situation. He just kept running. It's the discretion of the official score. Now, that was a ball right down that right field line that normally is going to be at least a double.
Right.
So if Niger had not touched second base, it would have just been a single.
And because he achieved second base, they gave him a double. It was a game winner. First walk-off of his career. And the Brewers are hoping for more of the same here tonight. Nyjer Morgan is on deck as Gomez is out on strikes. Well, he is really struggling at the plate. Well, here was the play last night. Morgan thought it was the 8th inning. It was actually the 9th. Craig Counsell at second. And that ball was down and in the corner, and Morgan just kept on running, as did Counsell.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times you'll see, say there's a guy at third base and the guy gets a base hit, you know, it'll be in the left field or right field. If the fielder just fails to field the baseball and just lets it lower the wall, guy just can't continue to run around the bases. They wouldn't give him a home run. It's the opinion of the official scorer as to what it should have been.
So 1 out. Nice will face Nyjer Morgan here. And there's a strike.
Nyjer's had good numbers against Nice. 4 for 8 in his career.
Matching up against him in the National League East. Morgan for the Nationals, of course. And it's quickly 0-2. Nice has been tough tonight. Only 2 hits. Braun an infield hit, Fielder an RBI double. That is it.
Not a guy that barely throws 90 miles an hour, but it's been all about the curveball for Nice here. He's thrown it in just about every count, whether he's ahead in the count, behind in the count, and has not made one mistake with that pitch.
In the air to center field. Back is Pagan. Out number 2. And of course, everybody was talking about Nyjer Morgan's post-game comments from last night, in case you missed it.
Man, I didn't even know what time it was right there, even though we got all the scoreboards and everything. I was just out there having fun. We definitely, it's not. Yeah.
It's a hot day, folks. Nyjer needs to cool off.
You see it? You see it? Throwing up the tee. And bringing pain again. Oh, I got to go.
Oh, my goodness. That was something else.
Good job by Mark Cannon. That was not easy.
Can you appreciate the contrast between the steady, calm, cool, collected Mark Kincannon and the whoever pops out of Tony Plush / Nyjer Morgan?
Who do you think won that battle last night?
That was great. And it's gone viral at this point. Well, he's certainly been fun to watch. Nyjer Morgan. Got a right-hander on the mound tomorrow, Kyle Loesch. Morgan will be back in the starting lineup. 3 right-handers up for the Cardinals, with Loesch, Carpenter, and Westbrook. Ricky Weeks 0 for 3. All of his outs on the ground. He bounced into a double play his last time up. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Brewers down 3. Needing a spark quickly. Nice hasn't let the Brewers up for air.
And ordinarily, this is the guy that provides the spark for this offense, Ricky Weeks. How about some 2-out lightning right here?
Just missed inside. Nice is coming off the longest outing of his season. He went 7 2/3 against the Braves, gave up just 2 runs, took a no decision that night. Full count. Ricky trying to make it interesting. Corey Hart would be next, then Braun. The Brewers had the tying run at the plate last inning with nobody out. They could not score. And he walked him. So there's a start. It comes with 2 outs, but the Brewers have a base runner as Nice issues his 4th walk of the game. And here comes Hart.
Well, now you need a bloop and a blast and tie this baby up.
Terry Collins has his closer loosening. We might see K-Rod in the 8th inning.
Doesn't have much confidence in many others down there. Now you might see Rodriguez for Braun.
Nice with 8 strikeouts to go along with his 4 walks. Through 7 2/3. The run came in the 4th. It was a 2-out RBI double by Fielder. As Hart goes to center field, there's a base hit. And here come the Brew Crew. 2 on, 2 out. The tying run will come to the plate. And decision time for Terry Collins. Here he comes. He's going to make the call to the bullpen. Well, it took a little longer than the Brewers had hoped for, but they finally chase the Mets starter, Jonathan Nice.
Yeah, left that curveball up out over the plate. The first mistake that he's made with that pitch. And Corey able to single to center field. Well, we talked about the spark. 2-out lightning. Brewers have a shot with the power coming up.
Ricky Weeks safe in second, safe and secure. New York Life. Pitching change at Miller Park. And the Mets will bring on their closer, asking him to get the final 4 outs. Out of this game with 2 outs in the 8th inning. He is in our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and he was very good here tonight. He leaves, however, with a run on the board, 7 2/3 innings, and 2 runners out there his responsibility. Cannot lose this game as Nice is lifted, and now Terry Collins goes to his bullpen. He's going to ask his closer to give him the final 4 outs. The Brewers have the muscle coming up. We've been leaning on them all season, Braun and Fielder. As Francisco Rodriguez will face Ryan Braun representing the tying run. Two on, 2 out in a 4-1 Mets lead. On 4 occasions this year, Rodriguez has gone an inning plus. He has gotten the final 4 outs. The last time he did it was on May 13th against the Astros. 17 saves on the season, only 1 blown save, and that was on opening day. Braun had a big cut.
He locates his fastball very well. Not a guy that's going to be overpowering. Has a very good changeup. Picked up save 17 on Tuesday night.
17 consecutive saves since blowing the opener on April 2nd against the Marlins. One and one to Braun. We'll ask if he went. Yes, he did, says Rob Drake. Unable to check his swing, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Ryan Braun.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball that time from Rodriguez, and could have gone either way, but Rod Drake rings it up.
For the second consecutive inning, the Brewers bring the tying run to the plate. Do they have some more magic in them tonight? The 1-2. Braun swings, lifts one left field. Back is Pridey, and he makes the catch. The inning is over. Braun tattooed it to left. A great catch over the shoulder by Jason Pridey. And that is that. The Brewers strand 2. They fail to score. Still 4-1 Mets. A narrow miss for the Brew Crew.
Francisco Rodriguez not really wanting to throw a fastball for a strike, but he did miss with that one on the outer half of the plate. Then it was sliders, and here's the pitch right here. He left the changeup up, middle part of the plate. If Ryan elevates that a little bit more, we're all tied up. Good at bat by Brony.
And the frustration coming out. Just missed it. The Brewers failed to score. Still 4-1 Mets as we go to the 9th inning. Nigel Morgan stays in the game to play center field, taking over for Gomez. And Marco Estrada is on the pitch. Marco trying to get things turned around a little bit. His last 2 outings he has struggled. Estrada gave up a couple of runs in an inning on Tuesday night. Gave up that 2-run triple to Jose Reyes that proved to be the game winner for the Mets. And Estrada took the loss, his 3rd loss of the year.
Well, the fastball and the changeup have been very good pitches for Estrada all year. He's been getting hurt with his curveball lately, of all things. But that pitch has been a pretty good one for him throughout the year. That pitch right there. Estrada with that deliberate delivery, and you can see the curveball. That's where you want it, down and away. Can't do much with it.
Beltran with 2 hits tonight. And a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Beltran retired. First strikeout. First batter face for Marco Estrada.
Yep, curveball down and away, swing and a miss, and a fastball up. Able to get Beltran. He's been a tough out tonight.
The Brewers getting scoreless relief tonight. Tim Dillard and Sergio Mitre each going 2 scoreless innings. Keeping the crew in this game within shouting distance. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Fielder will lead off, then McGee, then Betancourt. And if the Brewers are going to get it done tonight, it's going to have to be some new heroes. Some guys down at the bottom of the batting order.
Mets have to be kicking himself in this ball game. This feels like about a 9-1 game. You know, all the base runners that the Mets have had, but they're only 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position tonight. They've had many opportunities to blow this one wide open, have not done it. In the last 2 innings, the Brewers have had their tying run to the plate.
10 left on for the Mets. Four runs on 11 hits. Mitre was particularly impressive, getting through the 8th inning without a run after 2 errors were committed, essentially having to get 5 outs in the inning. He retired Reyes and Justin Turner, the 1 and 2 hitters, with runners on. Tim Dillard pulled a Houdini act in the 5th. At 2 on with nobody out. Got a strikeout and then a fly out to right, a play at the plate that resulted in an out, and he was out of a mess. And whether the Brewers come back tonight or not, still going to be able to look back at some stellar relief in this game. Guys who normally pitch when the Brewers are trailing, and a night to pick up a little confidence. Estrada lets Murphy get away and a 1-out walk. The Mets have just 1 hit since that 5th inning. As it stands right now, Jonathan Neese in line for the win. Giovanni Gallardo on the hook for the loss. And Francisco Rodriguez, the closer, is in the game, retiring Braun in the 8th. And Rodriguez will have the middle of the order coming up in the 9th. Final game of the series. The Mets are headed to Pittsburgh. Mets won the opener of this series on Tuesday 2-1. The Brewers, with that dramatic comeback last night, a 7-6 win. Swing and a miss way out in front of a changeup.
How about that one? 78 miles an hour, and Pagan almost pulled something. He started the bat, and then about halfway through he said, it's a little bit early here. That's a good changeup.
If you grew up on Looney Tunes like I did, they call that one the Bugs Bunny changeup.
Right.
There's another one. You can almost hear the baseball gasping for air as it makes its way to the plate.
So slow you can swing twice at it.
See if he throws him another one here. He does, and he strikes him out. It putters its way in.
Well, throw it till they hit it, right?
Second strikeout for Estrada.
Each pitch a little bit slower and a little bit more off the plate. That one down and away, and Pagan comes up empty. Fastball action with the arm. He just chokes it back with the grip and just doesn't get there for Pagan.
Now it's Pridey. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw is high. Wasn't going to matter anyway. Murphy got a great jump and he steals second base. And again, the Mets put themselves in scoring position. It's their third steal of the night. Running wild on Lucroy and the Brewer pitchers in this game.
Well, no chance that time for Jonathan. Big jump.
So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Pridey made that nice catch over the shoulder, robbing Braun of a base hit.
Made it a lot easier the fact that that outfield was playing very deep. Didn't have that far to go. Braun hit it right on the line.
Cardinals have added a run. They lead the Astros 7-1 now in the bottom of the 7th. Brewers are a game and a half back of St. Louis. Got to give a lot of credit to the Cardinals. They've had some holes in their bullpen, some holes in their lineup. Matt Holliday has missed significant time. Yet the Cardinals keep winning. 11 games over 500.
Yep, lead the league in hitting. Best batting average in the National League. As a team.
The Phillies have the best record in the National League. They are 12 over, 37-25. The Cardinals 37-26. The Brewers on the hunt for their 36th win of the year tonight. Full count, 2 outs. Got him. Estrada sneaks a fastball right by Jason Pridey. Inning over, and he strikes out the side. And the stage is set. Is there another comeback in the Brewer bats tonight? Last call. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Four to 1. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning, and the rally sombreros are on. The Brewers need base runners first, and then maybe a big bang tonight. Prince Fielder leads off. He'll be followed by McGee, then Betancourt. Francisco Rodriguez got the final out of the 8th inning, retiring Ryan Braun as Fielder takes a big cut. This is exactly where the Mets want Prince Fielder, leading off an inning with the Brewers down by 3. Prince doubled in a run in the 4th. He played the only run of the game for Milwaukee. It's 1 for 2 with a walk tonight. And he hits Allen hard, right field line. That will stay fair. It goes to the wall. Fielder on his way to second. And it's a leadoff double. His second double of the night.
Well, Rodriguez got away with that hanging changeup to Ryan Braun with a couple of men on base. Didn't get away with that one. Well, he just seen the baseball really well. Everything looks big to Prince. That pitch looks like a beach ball to him. There it is, that changeup. It was supposed to be away. He missed with it, and Fielder able to rip it down that right field line. You can see that high finish for Prince. The flip of the bat, and a double, a leadoff base runner from Milwaukee.
Fielder now hitting .301 for the season. Here's Casey McGee. Again, the Brewers threatening with the tying run in the on-deck circle. McGee is 0 for 3. He hit a hot line drive for an out in the 7th inning, representing the tying run.
And you got Counsell and Kotsay on the bench. Handed options.
There's a strike from Rodriguez. One of the best closers in the game, K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez. Had trouble on and off the field last year. A suspension at the end of the season. But he has come back strong in 11. Renicky knows him well. Those two are together in Anaheim. Rodriguez spent 7 years with the Angels as their closer. Had a 62 save season in 08. Little tapper, and Rodriguez will make the play to first. There is out number 1. And here comes Betancourt.
Yeah, sometimes hard to tell between the changeup and the slider from Rodriguez. I think that was a slider that time, and Casey way out in front. Again, Rodriguez only throws about 90 miles an hour. That's about where he tops out, maybe 91, but it's that changeup that makes that fastball appear a lot quicker. Sometimes you can sneak it by you. Think about changeup too much.
Quickly 0-2 on Betancourt. No balls, 2 strikes. Fielder at second base. Got Luke Croy on deck. And a swing and a miss. Betancourt down on strikes, and the Brewers down to their last out. Well, at this point, our Menards player of the game is Jonathan Neese. 7 2/3 tonight. He ties a career high with 8 strikeouts. Just 1 run allowed. The Fielder double in the 4th.
And just about every one of those strikeouts on the curveball, you see him one after the other. He only made 1 mistake with that curve all night long. And that was a base hit to Corey Hart in the 8th. He hung it. Corey got the base hit, but it was a good pitch for him.
And Neese went deep enough to turn it over directly to the closer, Francisco Rodriguez, for the 5th time this year, trying to go an inning plus for a save. And a ball and a strike. You go back to that 08 season, the year K-Rod saved 62 games. He did that in 69 attempts. Set a major league record. That was his final year with the Angels, and then he signed the big contract with the Mets. Ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez has a clause in his contract when he finishes the 55th game. It cashes in the option for next season. And a lot of talk about Rodriguez in the trade circles as well. And that's a ball game. So Francisco Rodriguez gives up a leadoff double, but that's it. The Brewers stifled by Mets pitching here tonight. Just 1 run on 4 hits, and the Mets win the series. They take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. A final tonight of 4-1. Much more still to come on this game. Craig Kashan standing by in our Brewers Live set. What do you have coming up for us, Craig?
Well, Brian, a rare home series loss for the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll talk about it, though, on Brewers Live coming up here from Ron Renneke. Plus our on-field instructional, the rundown, and the rules, all when we return on Fox Sports Wisconsin.